Generic greetings and welcome to Factorio. Today's beverage is a marvellous cup of tea, the workhorse of beverages, a beverage you can make a factory to, and indeed I have, or more specifically myself and a friend have made a factory, but more on that later. This is a game I've not featured on the channel in quite some time because of... insert one generic unit of excuse here. I really don't know why. I really don't know why I've not featured it more, nor why I've not really played a lot of it since its Steam release probably a couple of years ago now, I'm guessing. I did a series when it first came out and then dabbled a little bit in it and did a couple of standalone videos, but nothing of any great length, and that's a shame because every time I play this game I really enjoy it and want to play more, and yeah, it just, I don't know, circumstances and for whatever reason I haven't bothered. But that's changed when I was talking to a friend the other day about the game, and they weren't even really aware of what it was about. They knew it existed, they knew the name, and they guessed it was something to do with factories because of the name, but they hadn't even seen the trailer. But after me explaining what it was and them seeing it, they thought they'd give it a go, and over the course of maybe 12 hours we've built this factory, which is quite small in terms of Factorio standards, but considering I've had to relearn the game, go through all the changes and figure out what's been altered and changed and swapped about, and also learn new things because obviously it's been quite a while since I played it, so there's a lot of new additions and it's progressed very well. And on top of explaining to someone who's never played it at all, I don't think it's too bad that we've managed to come up with this, which is certainly not that efficient and indeed that good, but it's ours and that's all that really matters. Either way, I thought I'd show you a bit of the factory, have a bit of a natter, and quite frankly just have a mess around. So as you can see, we've got a copper mining solution over here, which is where we're digging all of the copper ore. One thing I was surprised about when I loaded it is just how much they've improved the look of it. It's never been ugly, I don't think, but it's certainly been stylized. But they've added a lot more to it. Like the grass and the textures on there is just much better. The trees are more detailed. I like the way that when you knock them down, you get like the leaves falling and such like that. It's just got a lot more fidelity to it, which is very, very good. Anyway, up here is where we've got our coal, and quite frankly, some of it needs changing, so that can be removed. They will work eventually, so will that one, but we'll just put that one in there, and then we will... Is it already powered up? It is not, and then we will power it up. There we go. Excellent. Not that we have a problem with coal supply, you understand, but it's always best to be efficient when you can, and that thing is damaged because of the creepers on the right hand side. I'm just going to repair that one there. Excellent. Okay, is that also out? It is. We might as well do some chop and changes while we're here. There we go. That's what it's about, and there we are, and then that's now functionating. So as you can see, we've got these two lines coming along. Obviously double thick wall all around the factory, triple thick on the right hand side because that's where most of the attacks were coming from. In fact, that's where all the attacks have been coming from. So I've triple thickness that up. Not that we really need to, you understand, but there was one point where the we were elsewhere in the satellite base on the top left there, but I'll show you that in a moment. And we ran out of ammo on one of the guns, so the walls just were getting chewed to bits, and if we didn't have a triple thick, then it would have been a problem. Over here we've got our research. We've gone for a bit of an automated research process, so I'll just press Alt there, and you can see we've got the iron chests with science packs. Just a couple of science packs, you understand. That's 1,500, that's 2,000, is it? Yeah, oh no, it's 3,900, and we're trying to do lab research speed 4, but we don't have the science pack 3s, which I will promptly go down here and grab it and then go back up. That's the one that's in the main production now. We've turned off the other science packs because of, well, obvious reasons. Since I last played, there's been a lot more science packs added, so you can see there's now Science Pack 1, 2, and 3, and those have changed actually in what you need to produce them, which was a bit of a shock when I tried to produce Science Pack 3 and I had to produce different items for it. We've got a Production Science Pack, which I have no idea how you get that, and the High-Tech Science Pack, and there's also a Military Science Pack as well. Now, originally, Military Science Pack, I think, or Science Pack 4, or it might have been called Alien Science Pack when I last played it. That's how long ago it was. You had to kill the bases, but I don't know how you get the other stuff now, but that's fine because it's all about playing it and experiencing it, and it's different, and it's going to be a challenge. So I'm all up for that. Up here we have a lot of splitting when it comes to the belts for coal, and most of it's going, or at least well, I guess a third of it's going over this side here, where we've got several boilers. These have been changed since I last played. Originally you could like chain them and they were only a 1x1 block, and now they're a fairly big one. And these are going to generate steam, which then power the steam engines. As you can see, we've currently got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 steam engines, and those only really function at night. And that's because we have a total of, actually I don't know how many solar power plants we have. We have a total of 184 solar panels. We also have 205 accumulators, which are over on the bottom right, which as you can see are getting drained of energy. But if I wanted to, I can use this new switch and turn that off, which eventually I will connect to an automated system to turn that off. And you can see that now the entire factory, the entire thing is being powered by the accumulators on the bottom right. And I'm just mousing over that. You can see the energy is slowly going down. Now, I don't think we'll be able to power the entire factory throughout the night with just those, although the sun is starting to rise. It might not look like it, I know it's very, very dark, but it is starting to rise, so the available performance is going up there. If I just click on one of these telegraph poles, telephone poles? Telegraph. Power poles. You can see we've got a slow ramp up here on the solar panel, currently producing 4.4 megawatts. We've currently got 6.7 outputting on the accumulators, and total drain is about 11 megawatts. So is that going to hit maximum? It's not, it's just going to keep going. So that's now overtaking the accumulators. Accumulators are only about halfway there. So there we are. I think I could be getting this wrong, but when I last played it, I always thought that it would try to take solar first, then accumulators, and then it would fire the steam engines up. But now it seems that it will happily fire the steam engines up, and the accumulators are like your last line of defense, your last backup for generation of power. But maybe that's me misremembering, or perhaps a change there. But either way, I can probably automate this process, and you can see now that we are no longer, almost no longer using this. Drain is down to, come on, oh, it's going up now. What is it draining? Yeah, it's fluctuating up and down. Either way, that should be charging at some point. Yeah, accumulator charges. Actually, no, it's not charging. It's fluctuating. So we're pretty much dead on the money with that one. Yeah, so we can power the entire factory with the solar panels, but we can't charge the accumulators. No, we can. We're slowly charging the accumulators. Only slowly though, so I'll probably need some more of those. Anyway, more of the factory tour. So we have a lot of steel furnaces, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 steel furnaces producing these copper plates, which obviously go down to the rest of the factory. Up the top here we had a lot of supply problems when it came to the iron plates, so we put loads of these in. As you can see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 27 steel furnaces, although most of them are off now, producing steel plates. The reason why these are off is simply because we originally had this, that's to produce the iron plates there, and now we're producing steel here as well, but the steel originally went into a box, so all of these were on the go. Also, we were producing Science Pack 1s and Science Pack 2s, so if I just turn these back on, so 1, 2, go this one here, 3, and then 4. There you go, and we'll start producing those. That's probably going to start, that'll alter the demand, and it'll probably change these here. Do you want to double check accumulator power? Yeah, it's not really going up. Yeah, it's actually getting drain on. So yeah, we're about breaking even, but it means that if we have these turned on, have this connected, it will actually charge the accumulators up quite fast. There you go, the accumulator charge is going right up there. That's no problem whatsoever. Although to be fair, yeah, we did have a. Do we have a power drain when it's on that one? Let's turn that off. And yes, production and satisfaction are the exact same amount. So yeah, we actually need. We're drawing it from the accumulator bank, so those can't power the entire factory. But it's close enough. It's close enough. It means that for the most part, we're not using the steam engines all the time, which is good. Anyway, again, I digress. So we're producing some engines here which go down onto a different line. They go over here and then round and then down. Originally, it was this and this and this. That's the first bit. Oh, sorry, this bit here and this bit here. Were these bits here were originally what we put in. Then we did this side, and this was a bit of a gap here. And then we started to produce steel here, and then we need to do Science Pack 3s, which Science Pack 3s now require advanced circuits. Is Science Pack 3s? Yes. Advanced circuits, engine units, and electric mining drills, which is a big change from the previous one, because I'm pretty sure it was something like advanced circuits, inserters, and something else. Belts. I think it might have been belts. Oh no, that's Science Pack 2, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, can't remember what it was, but this is what it is now. So, yeah, it's producing these. And in order to fit that in, we had to pretty much clamp it in. We were overdoing the assembly machines, obviously, and probably underdoing the advanced circuits. But we do have an overflow here, and as you can see, we are producing more than we're using at the moment. Obviously, I know that will change later on. We've also got Science Pack 1s over there, and just generally doing alright. Now, to do Science Pack 3s, you need the advanced circuits, and because of that, you need plastic. Plastic requires sulfur. Sulfur requires, sulfuric acid. You need to make plastic. You need sulfuric acid. Do you? No, sorry, I'm getting confused. My mistake. To make batteries, you need sulfuric acid. To make plastic, you just need petroleum gas. To get petroleum gas, you need oil, and to get oil, you have to go the other side of the map, which is why we built a train, because, well, it's a train, right? I mean, why would you not build a train? Let's get in said train. We're going to go over to that, and then we'll just say, go to the oil sat base, please. So the train is going to unhook and then head down and around. This is our train, which is fully automated, and I must confess, I think one of the best additions to the game. There's no soft start on this train. I hope it doesn't take the corner quite sharply and derail. Woo, that's a sharp one. Yeah, that's quite sharp indeed. There we go, and we'll be able to get out. So, I think the biggest, certainly my favourite feature of after coming back is the updates to the train. So you've now got a different rail system. So when you place a bit, you basically get this like rail builder type thing. Instead of having to place the corners manually, you get to place these nice curves and stuff like that. I think that's really intuitive and just much better from the way it did it before. Also, you can see we are generating. I know it's absolutely pitch black here, so I'll put one light down and we'll get. Oh yeah, that lights the thing up. You can see we've got loads of our pump jacks here, and then they're all connected to a couple of storage tanks. We've got loads of oil. There's absolutely loads of it here. It's probably one of the biggest fields that we found. In fact, its current yield is 1,514%, which is I don't even know what that is, but it's a lot of oil. Either way, we've got all this producing here, and we've got double wall around it with gun turrets, and then that comes along and then loads it onto... Where's the train gone? And the train's gone back. It's there. Huh. Okay. I guess that's happened. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. It's back. Okay. You come back. Right, it's coming back now, and we'll get picked up. Yeah, originally when I last played it, we had a satellite base, and we were bringing resources from that, but it wasn't oil. I think it was iron, and we had an automated process to ship it on there and then bring it back and stuff, and that was all cool. But what we wanted to do was oil, but at the time there wasn't these. No. It's an express train, we'll let it off. Anyway, originally there wasn't any way to get oil directly onto a train because you only had cargo carriages. So cargo carriage being... where is it? Is it in... Yeah, it is in there. So cargo wagon. We only had cargo wagons back in there. And that was a problem because you couldn't transport oil easily. You could do it. You had to make barrels. You had to build barrels and then load the barrels on. So that meant that what we had to do is build the barrels in the main base, load them onto the cargo train. That train would then go to the satellite base, unload them onto a production line, which would then take them to the pumps that would fill them up. I think it was a Factorio or Petrochemical, one of the two. You would load them up, and then while simultaneously doing that, we also had to exchange the filled ones, because it would be filling while the train was away, and then put them onto the cargo train, bring those back, and then unload those, and then pour that into a big funnel that then was put into our storage tanks, and then finally we could refine it. It really sounds complicated, and like everything in Factorio, it probably sounds worse than it is, because Factorio is a game that is, quite frankly, one of the best when it comes to intuitive design, and it sounds really complicated, but when you look at it, it's very readable, and it's just easy to get. I mean, mistakes were made, obviously, but still managed to work it out. But that was a bit overcomplicated. But yeah, we've got a fluid wagon now, so it just gets rid of all that need. You've just got pumps now and fluid wagons which connect up and will pump fuel or liquid in and out of these, which is good. So, there's that. Over on the right-hand side here, we've got sulfuric, so we've got sulfur getting... No, we don't have sulfur getting made. Why don't we have sulfur getting made? That's because we have filled up on light oil, which means these are no longer refining. That is a problem. So let's go in here, and yeah, it's no longer refining because this is full. So we need to refine that oil down to... I believe we can... Can we change it to... Can we change it down? We might be able to. Let's see if we can do that. So this barrel's full. Oh, sorry, these storage tanks are full of light oil, and we're not using it. We're not using it at all. But because it's full, we can't produce any more petroleum gas, which means we can't produce sulfur, and by extension sulfuric acid, and then by another extension batteries, although we do have a lot of sulfuric acid in storage. But the main thing is we can't produce plastic, so that's going to stop this entire line. What I'll do before I forget is pick up these here, and I'm going to put them in up top, because I know that research has finished, so we'll go up here. We're still going through modifications, so there's still mods and modules to be installed. We just haven't got there yet, and we're still under attack, and it's becoming a bit of an issue. I'll have to get some automated bots on the repair there. I mean, obviously just scratching the surface here. I mean, this is a decent foundation, I think, but just scratching the surface of things to do. You've got well, in no particular order, you've got power switches, automated networks. Well, you've got the circuit network, logistical network, programmable speakers now, which I've not touched, different types of inserters, which we haven't really messed around with. We've got electric furnaces, which we need to put in. We've got robotics. We've got the train extension. We've got more combat and suits and stuff, and then eventually the rockets. So yeah, there's loads to do. There's loads to do. Anyway, so we'll go over to the petrochemical plant. We'll build one of those, and we'll just slam it down here, and we'll see what we can do in order to try and change this up. So yes, we can actually use this. So its recipe is light oil cracking to petroleum gas. We can crack that into that. So that's exactly what we'll do. So I think we'll go for 2 of those. And as always, we want to put it probably a fair distance away from the pipes, because eventually we will have a routing problem. I think there and there should be satisfactory. There we go. Speaking of satisfactory, is it satisfactory? The new game that Coffee Stain is making, I think it's called that. It looks really good, and I will be playing some of that. So we need to insert light oil, and then we get petrochemicals out of it. Okay, that's fine. So we need, as always, a boatload of pipe. I don't know how big the boat is, but I'm guessing it's going to have to be quite a lot. In fact, what I'm going to do to automate the process somewhat, or rather speed it up, I guess is the term, is to go here where we've got a pipe mill, and we're just going to pick up all this pipe, and then... yeah, it means I don't have to build all the individual bits of pipe. There we go, and we'll say 5 of those, but I think we'll need about 10, so I'm just going to pick up some more pipe here. And you see there's loads of pipe flowing out of that, so we're not going to be in any great shortage. Let's build a couple more there. And, oh, hang on, wait, that's probably too much now. But we've got enough, I think. We'll probably put another 40 in there. Okay, so we need to bring in water, and we need to bring in the light oil. So I'm going to pull that up there because we don't need to. Originally, we had a plan to expand everything off like that, but it just hasn't happened. Let's go for another bit of research. I'm not really looking at the exact research what we're doing. I just set it going for the time being. I won't be continuing on with this particular one because, as I said, this is just to demonstrate what me and a friend have been making, so would it be rude to change things here while they're not here. So I'm going to probably put that in there. Then we'll go for an innie, then an outie, and then we'll say innie, then an outie, and then we'll connect all those like so. So there's your light oil. For the water, it's actually running down here. You might be able to see it. It's quite small, but it's running down here. And then into these water tanks. Now, I know you don't need to store water because, as far as I'm aware, the water on the map doesn't run out. Although you can remove it now with a landfill, which is very, very good. The reason I'm storing it is because if you need to change any pump network or any piping around where the source is, or you need to reroute this, if you don't have water stored, then the entire process stops. So I like to place just a couple of storage tanks. It means you've just got a backup there. So that's the reasons for it. Anyway, we have water coming along here, and we've got water there. Now, we could easily probably go under there, out there, and then in that way, and then round and something like that. So let's do that. Well, what we'll do is we'll connect these up like so, and then we'll worry about the routing, although it's going to be fairly problematic if we don't do a bit of changes here, a couple of changes here. So I want an innie there, like that, and then an out there, and then we'll say in and then out, and then that should be everything connected without any crossover. I mean, it still does look like an explosion in a pipe factory, but I mean, we're doing something. So that's got that there. So we then need to bring this down and then back in to here. Or we could route it along under here and then just connect it up there. We could do that. The problem with that is you then get problem with fluid flow and dynamics. So we need to probably bring it in here. And the solution, I think, is to have it go in there, out there, in there, out. No. See, the way I tend to play this game, and I don't know if it's a common theme, but the way I tend to play this game is look at what we need, analyze it in terms of the space requirement, think exactly what we need, double it, and then still get it wrong. That's generally what happens. So I thought, well, we'll make sure we've got a decent amount of space around these things, just so we don't have to cramp everything in. And then inevitably, it was far too small. So yeah, it's like cooking pasta in that regard. Think about what you need, then get it wrong. It's either too much or too few, too little. Right. Anyway, I digress. So we need to connect this up. So we could go to the beach, go home, and stop bothering with this. We could do all of those things. How do we want to connect it? I mean, we could just... The simple way would just be to connect it there. But we want it really to go in here. So I reckon in, out, and then we'll just connect it manually. In, out, in, out. Innie outies, job done, job done. And there we go. So that's gone with the pipe to grounds in and out a couple of times in the earth, and then we're job done, I think. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. Connect that up. I always use pipe to grounds when I can because it means you can walk around the map. I wanted... it would be nice to have a ladder you can go up and over with, but hey ho, I guess the pipe to ground works just as well, although it's quite expensive. So that petroleum gas is getting produced. It does take quite a while though. But it's twofold here, because not only are we producing some petrochemical, petroleum gas, but we're also getting rid of the light oil, which means that this is producing from here, and now these are refining, which is why That is slowly going up. I, however, think that we could probably double production and still be alright. So I think we're going to do just that. So we're going to set that as that and that. You can make solid fuel and such, by the way. Don't know entirely why. I guess you could transport it better, but either way, we'll do that. So that's those set. We need water, and we need water, and we need the and the light oil. Light oil's quite simple. Something like this. And right. Then the water can come that way. Again, totally bodged in, inefficient. But it might work. And he's out of smaller telegraph poles. Are they called telegraph poles? Electronic pole. Yeah, because they're not telecommunications. That's why they're telegraph poles. Obviously. Water. No water. Pipe to ground, pipe to ground. In, out. No, not working. Ooh. Interesting. It's because I placed it one too far. That's why. Because it genuinely wasn't connected. And now it is. And they're producing. Okay. So they're producing petrochemical. Sorry, petroleum gas. I keep calling it petrochemical. Light oil going down. Petroleum gas going up. Yes, it is, yeah, trending up. And heavy oil probably will be an issue later on. But that is working. Now that's producing. Excellent, that's what we wanted. Right, is the sun going down or up? It's coming up because we've got the performance going up on the solar panels there. You can see we are draining from here. Once we've got more accumulators here and the solar network, what I'm probably going to do is expand this section from about here along to the railway line, then up and around, and then pretty much double our solar capacity, and that should I think produce everything we need for this factory, because I don't think we're going to expand much more than this. But as always, think what you need in the game, get it wrong. Okay, so I'm back in a car here, and because we haven't got a proper entrance or exit, I'm going to have to go on the tracks, which is bad because that will immediately destroy the car if it hits it, and indeed crush you. And that has happened, sadly. So I want to take out some of the bases. It's up top that a lot of the attacks are coming from. So I'm going to zoom out here and head up north, northeast. And see what we can do, like in a... We're gunning up that tune with the lads. And we'll have a real good time shooting small biters. Gonna start reversing now. Okay, there's that. So I'm actually using semi-decent ammo here. I'm using armor-piercing ammo. Oh, I'm getting shot back. I'm getting shot at. Oh, and they're spawning the big biters as well. Actually, they're the medium ones, I think. Don't know. I can't really read the name. They're just getting destroyed faster than I can read it, which says something about the state of things, obviously. And there we go. That should stop. That should reduce the attack somewhat. Ugh. Always reminds me of the Zerg, and I think that's intentional. Okay, so we can repair the vehicle. Vehicle is now repaired rated. Do a UE, and we'll go back. Job done. So, normally when you kill those, you'd get the science pack drops, but you don't now. I wonder what you do need for them science packs. Oh, right, military science packs are now armor-piercing rounds grenades and gun turrets. So I'm going to have to automate the process by... What the... Ah. Should have really been concentrating on what I was doing. There we go. That's only a little bit of a... That'll buff out. I mean, the tree's fairly destroyed, but hey-ho. Almost turned that into kindling with one hit. But, you know, the car's made out of sterner stuff, so we'll be alright. Yes, so, for the military science packs, you get 2 of them. Is it 2? Yes, you get 2 of them for 1 armor-piercing round, a magazine, 1 grenade, and 1 gun turret. Grenade? Was that in the game when I last played it? I can't remember. And then for the other science pack, production, you need electronic engine unit and electric furnace. What? Oh, it's not too bad, electric furnace. It's a lot of resources, though. But, is that not what Factorio is about? Gathering resources and automating processes? I think it is, so that'll be the next job. But not now, not now. We're probably we're calling it now. That's pretty much it. Beverage is finished. So, that has been a little bit of a factory tour. I'm back into the game. I was never dissuaded from playing the game. I just was playing other things, and then you drift apart, and and sometimes you see each other in the corner of the room at a party, and that's just how it is. And then then get back together, and then now it's now. Sorry, are we still talking about Factorio? I think we are. Anyway, yeah, Factorio, good game, enjoying it. Probably will feature more. Obviously, I'm sure you'll be wanting to see more and calling for series and this, that, and the other, but maybe is what we'll say. For now, I'm just enjoying playing a bit of co-op with a friend and building a factory and getting back into the game. Once I'm further back into it, then make a decision on long-term prospects for this in the channel. But either way, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Comments in the comments. Take care, and generic partings.